marketing monies they would spend for the year. And so he called me again, and I said, Al, I just don't want to do that. He said, why not? And I thought, well, I can stop him with this. I said, listen, Al, I have enough money to get us started, but if we had a little bump in the road, I would just be in trouble. He said, how much do you need? In those days, I came up with a wild number with the expectation that he would say, well, sorry. I said, what I need is, I need $500,000. He said, I'll call you right back. 5 minutes he called, he said, here's the guy, Chuck Greer, he'll do it, he likes you, he knows you, you have your money, call him, make arrangements, boom. And that's how I began the contact center business that we ran for 20 years. We started with that kind of beginning, and no employees. When we got out in '99, we had 3,000 employees in 5 countries. So we built that business for 20 years. But nothing starts without a hitch. So this was end of 1980, we started in 1981, and in that 1980 period, as we're formulating what the plans are going to be, I made some very special arrangements with this fellow that made a big difference to make sure that we would make twice as much as we would normally make in the business. So I felt pretty clever. So we get to January, early part of January, we're supposed to launch in March of '81. And in January, the president of our country came on and said this, folks, you have to quit using your credit cards. The population and the use of the credit card is ruining our economy. And what was I going to do? I was going to promote new credit cards. Anyway, we lost money every year for the first 2 years. Middle of the 3rd year, I'm so exhausted and so tired, and I had just literally, not an exaggeration, moments of waking up knowing how much failure had been a part of this for the last 2 years. Sitting in your little tiny home in the front window, literally sobbing. That's your MBA from Wharton. So, with that in mind, about 3 months later, we're going to finally get an audit, someone to come in and kind of see where we are, because I can do accounting, of course, but they didn't trust my accounting. And all I wanted was to stop the business. So I kept telling my partner who had the money, and I said, let's stop this business, let's stop it. Sure enough, we're going to stop it. That is, to me, one of the not so intelligent things for people to say. That's for people who are tired of thinking about how we get to the right place. I'm going to make a decision, and then I'm going to rest my laurels on the fact that I'm decisive, are just decisive without thought. So, your background, to me, is foundational. And if I had known this when I was younger, first of all, I don't think I have the mathematical abilities to do what you do. All I could get through was trig, and of course I did do calculus. But between engineers and musicians, those are the 2 mindsets that I have the most appreciation for, particularly as we start architecting and building systems. And I don't mean just computer systems, I mean systems and operation systems. So anyway, I've belabored that point. When I make a decision, it has an impact. If all I look at is the impact, I have missed all the ribbons that go with that. When I do this here, it creates other things. What's the physics principle that says that? The technology is so dramatic that you have to have the ability to literally jump from concept and principles to details and relationships more quickly than ever before. If you are a rancher in the 1800s, even though there's certainly complexities, you still had to get into the detail. Everyone's read the articles. People don't leave companies, they leave their manager. That manager has been pressed by an impact of someone that they report to. So again, I just want to give you these points again. and stress the bottom, will be as good to you as your